What the?
Should you ever find yourself in this little town in Oregon, be aware that you're gonna see some pretty strange sights. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 episodes of Gravity Falls. For this list, we'll be looking at this modern classic by Alex Hirsch, and are choosing the best episodes. Keep in mind that each entry is practically a spoiler, so a spoiler alert is now in effect.
Your bad deeds make me cry. No!
Number 10, Into the Bunker.
Ah, my face is being eaten a lot!
Thrills are the name of the game in this episode. After discovering what appears to be the lair of the mysterious author, Dipper and company venture deeper into the underground compound, passing through a variety of traps along the way in order to seek the truth.
Hey-o!
What they find instead is one of the creepiest creatures that Gravity Falls has introduced, the flesh-eating shapeshifter, with the voice of Mark Hamill.
You're not going anywhere.
Of course, the real tension comes from Dipper's decision to actually confess his feelings to Wendy, which leads to what can only be described as a bittersweet interaction.
Friends?
Yeah, dude, friends!
Number 9, Summerween.
Well, you dudes better be careful out there. It's a night of ghouls and goblins, not to mention the Summerween trickster.
Speaking of terrifying monsters, as the annual Summerween holiday approaches, Dipper has to decide whether he's gonna keep up the tradition of trick-or-treating with Mabel, or whether he's gonna toss it aside to hang with Wendy.
What am I gonna tell Mabel?
His choice is made a million times harder when a haunting figure known as the Summerween trickster demands a tribute of 500 pieces of candy, or they'll face some deadly consequences.
The choice is yours, children. You must trick or treat, or die.
What follows is a mad rush filled with scares and laughs, culminating in a showdown with the trickster. Don't expect to satisfy your sweet tooth with this episode.
What's up, bro?
Number 8, Blendin's Game.
Kick deflected. Thank you for buying Digicon, the smart codpiece.
Wait, what?
Blendin Blenjamin Blandin is nowhere near the scariest enemy the Pines have faced. If anything, he's a giant helping of anxiety-riddled comic relief.
Through me! And that's what it would have been like if I had just gotten it right the very first chance, but it still was effective.
But even we have to admit that an angry Blendin is still a little intimidating. After Mabel and Dipper cost him his job, the time traveler swears vengeance and challenges them to a futuristic deathmatch.
No, please! And the two of you are officially challenged!
As they try to escape, they end up traveling to the past and witnessing the sad childhood of their friend Seuss. This makes them eventually decide to accept Blendin's challenge. If they win, they will have the chance to make their friend's lifelong dream come to pass. This one is equal parts action and heartfelt goodness.
I know who my family is now, and it's you dudes. Thanks for giving me the best birthday ever.
Number 7, Double Dipper.
Calendars, mugs, t-shirts, and more. They got it all at the copier store. That's not their slogan, I just really feel that way about the copier store.
Unfortunately for Dipper, he likes to overcomplicate things, especially when it comes to his infatuation with Wendy.
Yeah, laugh all you want, but I've devised a plan to make sure my night with Wendy goes perfect.
After discovering a copy machine that can make clones of himself, he creates an elaborate plan in order to land a romantic dance with Wendy and get rid of his romantic rival Robbie in one fell swoop.
Robbie, you remember Dipper from the convenience store?
No. Yo, Wendy, check out my new guitar.
Whoa, cool.
As expected, his inability to use the direct approach causes his plan to fail, leading him to reflect on his own flaws.
That makes, like, 0 sense. You make 0 sense! Watch it! Don't shove people! Hey, you want some cheese and crackers, buddy?
This episode also gives birth to the epic trio that is Mabel, Candy, and Grenda.
Zeus, play another song! This thing's going all night!
Way ahead of you, Hambone.
Number 6. Society of the Blind Eye.
Rappers can't just make up words.
Rappers are visionaries, Wendy. If they told me to eat my own pants, I would do it.
Eat your own pants, eat your own pants, yeah.
I guess I have no choice.
With all the craziness that happens in Gravity Falls, is it any surprise that it has its own secret society? Led by the fanatical and ironically named Blind Ivan, the society exists to erase the memories of those that have seen the town's stranger happenings.
Lazy Susan?
What is it that you have seen? Speak!
Yeah, I was leaving the diner and I saw these little bearded doodads, and I was like, what?
This episode not only introduces a fun set of villains, but also offers a great message about facing your greatest problems.
Ew.
Well, time to erase that forever.
Give me that tube! Never!
While Mabel accepts her heartbreak over a former flame, the comic relief character of Old Man McGucket recovers his memories in a reveal that furthers the plot and casts even more suspicion on the antics of Grunkle Stan.
For the past year, I have been working as an assistant for a visiting researcher. He has been cataloging his findings about Gravity Falls in a series of journals. I helped him build a machine which he believed had the potential to benefit all mankind.
Number 5. Fight Fighters.
I've been jigging for 7 days straight!
Zeus?
Let him have this.
If you happen to be a lover of classic fighting games like Street Fighter, then this episode will definitely hit home for you. Dipper finds himself accidentally summoning a character named Rumble from an old arcade machine, who he then uses to take his place in an upcoming fight against Robbie.
Fireball!
What the heck was that? You were only supposed to scare him. You almost killed him.
However, that plan is turned on its head as Rumble is keen on finishing fights with a fatality, forcing Dipper to throw himself into the fray to save Robbie.
If Robbie V is not the last stage, then it must be...
Paying homage to while also poking fun at some of the cliches of the genre, this episode features overly long final combos along with some neat retro graphics.
Fireball! Uppercut! Countercut! Full of punch!
Number 4. Northwest Mansion Mystery.
You're just lucky I'm desperate.
Whoa! Desperate! Desperate!
Turns out when Gravity Falls tackles a typical haunting, they pull it off with spectacular results. During the annual fancy get-together where all of the richest associates gather at the home of the Northwests, Dipper is hired to deal with the sudden arrival of a malevolent ghost.
And that's not just jealousy talking. I'd say that to her face.
I need your help.
You're the worst.
As the mystery unfolds, not only do the reason for the ghost's rage and the deceitful history of the Northwest name become evident, we also get to see the formerly one-note Pacifica develop as a character, as she chooses to do what's right over what her family wants. Best of all, Grenda gets the guy in the end.
There's something about you. I can't get you out of my head. You're so bold and confident.
Number 3. Zeus and the Real Girl.
I'm great at fixing stuff, playing video games, having a sort of mustache. I could totally get a date in a week.
In the same vein as fighting games, this episode delves into the sometimes innocent, sometimes weird, always hilarious genre of Japanese dating sims.
Never seen that one before. Virtually improve your dating skills. 9 out of 10 basement dwellers recommend. This is perfect!
After failing to land a date for a wedding, Zeus finds himself entering into a strange relationship with Giffany, a sentient character within the dating game who is more than a little possessive.
And I'm sure you'll never abandon me, new boyfriend.
Boyfriend?
After finding an actual girl who likes him for who he is, Zeus ends up at the mercy of a murderously jealous Giffany.
Zeus, are you okay?
No, I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Are you sure? You're spitting an awful lot.
You kinda have to feel sorry for Dipper and Mabel in this one. Being Zeus's wingman presents a lot of life-threatening situations.
Oh, I am crazy. Crazy for you, Zeus.
Number 2. The Weirdmageddon Trilogy.
Oh, it's happening! It's finally happening!
You couldn't ask for a more fitting ending to Dipper and Mabel's misadventures in Gravity Falls. Over the course of 3 episodes, we observe the demonic Bill Cipher bring about the end of the world, watch Wendy go full-on Mad Max, see Dipper and Mabel fix their sibling relationship, and cheer as the Mystery Shack punches the crap out of Bill.
Ah, my eye! Do you have any idea how long it takes to regenerate that?
All this leads to a conclusion that does not disappoint. Our time with these characters may seem brief, but Alex Hirsch truly managed to go out on a high note with the world and characters he created. Don't pretend you didn't cry.
You knuckleheads were nothing but a nuisance, and I'm glad to be rid of you.
Before we reveal our #1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
I'll flip the cat back and roll the dice. Don't step to the wizard, cause the wizard.
Too many dungeons and all that. Updated for the non-double deuce. Available wherever dope games are sold.
Peace! Mabel, you want me to be a sock puppet forever?
I'm sorry. It looks funny when you're mad. Okay. Just take over for me until I get back with the book.
Status update.
Number 1, not what he seems.
Come this far. I'm not giving up now.
In an episode that was action-packed up to the final moment, the mystery surrounding who Stan Pines really is and what his intentions are was finally solved, granting us some much-needed closure.
Stanford Pines, you stand accused of theft of government waste, conspiracy, and possession of illegal weapons. How do you plead to these charges?
Guiltison. Inna-guilty. Can I have my phone call?
From the reveal of the enigmatic author's identity, to Stan escaping police custody via zero gravity, to Dipper's lost faith in their grunkle, to the nail-biting final decision, there's never a dull moment in this exciting episode.
Uncle Stan?
6, 5.
I trust you.
Not only was the answer something fans were not expecting, it also signaled the beginning of Gravity Falls' final, frightening, and very fulfilling arc. All we can say is what a ride.
Is this the part where one of us faints?
Oh, I am so on it, dude.
Do you agree with our list?
I'm on it.
What's your favorite episode of Gravity Falls?
No, someone help! Someone help!
With new top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Oh man, I was so spellbound by your dramatic tale I forgot all about those dudes.